Well, greetings there, friends and family out there in YouTube land. My name is Christy. I'm a intuitive reader. I read oracle cards, tarot, just receive messages through dreams, intuition, symbols. Um, I haven't been on here in a while. I was doing zodiacal readings for a minute and kind of stopped. I was having a lot of technical issues and it was frustrating. And um, so I just stopped. It doesn't mean I haven't been getting hits and haven't been doing readings at all. I just haven't been recording. To I Something told me to do another reading for. I was going to do one for Cancer, and it I realized that this was a collective reading, and what came out, and I think this has to do with the North Node in Aries conjunct Chiron. So the wounded healer is in the sign of Aries, which to me is all about it's male, I'm sorry, or masculine. Aries is a masculine sign. And how this is coming out in this reading is about the it's interesting. It's not about the male wound or the masculine wound so much as it is about the feminine wound, which is interesting because we have here, well, something was coming up. Something is being pushed up. And it happened during a moment of a sad embrace and kind of repairing. See, we got repairing the spirit and the sad embrace. So something came up into your consciousness or our consciousness, if you can see the bubbles there, that brought in this time or this instant where there was something, a truth that was brought to our attention. And whether or not this was a conscious thing or subconscious, something was brought up, and it was brought up during this time of this me talks, this truth came through. And if you can see in the bubbles, there are these faces. I don't know if you can see that. But in these faces, so this truth was coming through. And it's almost like this is you or us as the collective that is hidden in the shadows. So this moment of truth where we were dealing with this sad embrace, this moment came up, and it's almost like these two faces saw each other in this moment. So what happens is, in this moment of truth where something was given a choice, a decision was made, and this had to do with the truth that was coming up through this experience in this sad embrace. And why I say the sad embrace and the feminine, I don't want to say feminine, the toxic feminine, But do you see this ruby above her head? I almost see this as like this injury or this wound, because this devil card, normally the devil card is very, I look at it very masculine. This is a feminine wound. It's like the energy of a woman, of the feminine, who is obsessed with security, who's obsessed with this sense of, security, taking care of herself. But normally the crown chakra should be crowned with either white or the violet light. But this is completely upside down. And, she's just whacked out. So it's like this upside down kind of matrix where the feminine has been wounded. And I'm not saying by the masculine energies at all. It's just, I think what I'm getting is this is just happening. So it's almost like this wound has to be seen in order to be healed, because we have the goblins. So during this moment of this sad embrace, we came face to face with these goblins. So, and I want to say we because it's the collective. And it came up as this galactic mushroom, the divine matrix. And this is what we face, but what we are facing. And then with this came this, during this time, okay, here it is. So during this time of this truth that was given to us in this moment, it brought about this release that the feminine was able to release through this sad embrace. And it resonated as a magic prayer. You see the whale song? This reading had a lot of water energy, not a lot of red. The only red that really came out was the devil card. So I'm seeing that as this toxic feminine that is being healed. And a lot to do with whales. Yeah, a lot to do with water, the subconscious. And in this moment of this resonating with this truth, this release took place. And in this release, at this exact moment, look how, so do you see how her hands are stretched? Her legs are stretched out. She has this protective energy over her. Sorry, that light, that glare. She has this protective energy over her where she's able to, it's almost like giving birth, to squat down. But what happened was it released, and I want to say a DNA repair or a DNA activation, because see how the polar bear is melting, the ice is melting, and out comes this divine masculine who is able to actually protect, what does that say? Yeah, ancestors. So it's almost like this moment of activation or DNA activation or DNA repair. I don't want to say repair, I want to say DNA activation. It's like the DNA strand for the masculine has been frozen. And this moment of truth, of decision, or choice that the feminine in the collective, and again, I'm not saying was conscious, but it was like a moment of letdown where the feminine couldn't hold up this energy anymore. And then here comes, watch, here comes the Seven of Swords and then the Five of Swords, right? So look at this divine, this feminine, masculine energy. It's like it couldn't sustain this toxic feminine anymore and had to cut it loose. Now there's still this kind of energy of back and forth, but look at this as well. Look at this, the Lovers. We got the Lovers, and underneath we got the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles, and it's like this again. So there's this balance that's happening, that's taking place, that is bringing in ancestral healing or activation for this divine masculine energy to come in and actually protect. And it happened during this moment of release when the divine feminine kind of saw this truth. It's almost like these two looked at each other. And it's interesting. Hold on. Before I was thinking this was us or the feminine, and this was the masculine, but it's almost because this is the divine matrix, the galactic mushroom, and the willow of the wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. So it's almost like this was the moment of sporing, of the release. Like this was the release here of the divine feminine, almost spreading her legs, right? Almost saying, I am vulnerable. I'm fertile, I'm vulnerable. And it triggered this moment for the divine masculine to come in from the shadows and become the divine masculine that it was designed to be, because it heard the magic prayer of the feminine. And it's almost like this happened in a moment where you could have been just, some information was given to you, given to us, given to the collective. Through a moon cycle. And I want to say this Cancer moon, this last Cancer moon, because this reading, what was interesting is this reading was supposed to be for Cancer. I didn't realize that the moon was in Cancer when I pulled this. Look how blue, or how much blue. I know there is red here shot out, but it was, I mean, all blue when I started pulling. And then here with the cosmic womb. So there is a dance right now. It's a balancing out of the DNA. And this was all while you were moving toward adventure. So it's almost like the masculine, the feminine was saying, I need more adventure in my life. This is not enough. Look what this is getting me. Look at what this culture, this divine, and I'm seeing this as the wound that is being brought out by the North Node right now in Aries, in this Cancer moon, because Cancer is feminine. It's the mother. It rules the moon. So I think that activation for the divine feminine created this moment where the divine feminine said, there has to be more than this, and dove in with this magic prayer. Look at that. And released, became vulnerable. Almost that moment of serenity. I want to get a message from the Mayan Oracle. And underneath was this 5 of loss, or 5 of water. So 5 of cups. So this sorrow, this regret, right? With this Ace of Wands, it almost becomes like this adventure card comes in. And it's like, I can't take this anymore. This, and then the Wheel of Fortune reverse. So, or the medicine wheel, small medicine wheel. But it came out reversed. So it's like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to feel this peaks of joy. And it's like it brought that about. It brought about this peaks of joy. Let's get a message from the Mayan Oracle, which I don't know if you study the Mayan culture. Their galactic signatures help them to ascend, which I think is why we don't hear much about the Mayans. I think they were able to tap into the energy of ascending, and I wanted to see with this oracle where we're at with this energy. I ask for protection. I ask for all energy and spirit that is here is for the best and highest good for all. Can we get a message for the collective, for this healing of divine feminine and masculine? It's all, I want to say it's a DNA upgrade, because this is what I get with this 2 of Pentacles. Bringing about a balance and kind of a back and forth motion. What's interesting as well is this jackal. This is about choices. So what I see with this card is Anubis and mythology, where he rules over the process of death, the funerary process, where he weighs the feather, your heart, against that of a feather. And depending on how much your heart weighs, if it's more than the feather, it decides where your soul ends up. And then with the choices and consequences right before it, this moment, it's almost like this pressure of this moment of truth that the collective had, whether we were conscious of it or not. And I want to say it's the Chiron conjunction. Let's get an overall energy card from the Mayan Oracle deck for the collective for this reading. I hope my sound's working. Here we go. New myth. Interesting. Again, with the 8 or the 2 of Pentacles, this new myth, This is the energy of creating. It's like closing a loop. It's bringing in a new vibration, a new energy, and weaving it in, this new myth that we are creating. So what we have to remember is that what the Mayans believed is this world it's an illusion, right? We live in a holographic world, like a simulation. And whenever energies come in to switch things up, it's almost like we have learned the pattern. And we're ready for a new pattern. So even though this is an evolutionary DNA upgrade, it's still our soul creating its new reality. So it had the experience of this wounded feminine, of this, it's like our collective soul needed to experience this out of balance feminine, this out of balance. Interesting, I have 8:08 on the clock right now. This out of balance feminine, in order to bring it back so that we could experience the healing of that. So we could experience these peaks of joy just for that moment. Just for this moment that we had a choice. We made a choice in this moment of truth so that we can experience that peak of joy, because we needed this adventure. Our soul needed this adventure in order to experience this peak of joy. So it's like we went from this sad embrace to this peaks of joy. And all of this drama was in between in order to do this. And this victorious moment for the divine masculine, to be able to come in and protect the divine feminine and bring it back into balance. And that, my friends, is what is happening. God bless you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Love ya.